been quite a morning, and a morning that no doubt to many Manchester City fans has been one that's been quite concerning, because this morning we learned that City have been charged by the Premier League with more than 100 alleged breaches of financial regulations after what's been a 4-year investigation. Then when you look at it closely, well, what could that lead to? It's believed that if the charges are proved, it could lead to a range of sanctions, including a points deduction or even expulsion from the league. We've been saying, when are we going to hear from Manchester City? We've just heard from Manchester City. Simon, what is your take on this? It's a very short statement, but they don't miss their point either. Manchester City is surprised by the issuing of these alleged breaches of the Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and vast amount of detailed materials that the Premier League has been provided with. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position. As such, we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. So if that's not robust, I don't know what is.
Yes, you would expect it to be such. They're hardly going to run the case for the opposition, are they? They're the defence. They're going to run their own case. And the key terminology is there. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission, which is basically suggesting that the Premier League are not independent in their own findings, that they have been skewed by misinformation, inaccuracy, and their own agendas. And it's actually quite a jaw-dropping statement to some extent, because it flies in the face of everything that's ever been levied against Manchester City. It flies in the face of a 4-year investigation. It flies in the face of the fact that UEFA originally found them guilty and CAS only overturned it on the basis of a technicality. It flies in the face of the fact that they have been found guilty of financial fair play in different incarnations. And we will see. It's hopefully the Premier League will be as robust as their allegations. If they have had the temerity and the courage of their convictions to go out there and put together 4 years of investigation, in which I'm pretty damn sure that Man City haven't been particularly cooperative in. And that's not just the Premier League that has been said about. The judicial system has in its own right said that Manchester City have been quite difficult. So with that in mind, bring it on. Let's see what the Premier League have got to bear. And if it does clear them once and for all, then we'll have to see what that looks like.
You're suggesting there, Simon, that City have been reluctant to engage for whatever reason. This isn't saying that, particularly given the extensive engagement and vast amount of detailed materials that the Premier League has been provided with. City are saying, you're kidding. We've been all over this from the start.
One man's meat is another man's poison, isn't it? I mean, the bottom line is one person's version of extensive may be something very different to what people who deals with extensive information on a daily basis may view as extensive. Look, the bottom line is the Premier League have charged them with 100+ breaches. They found themselves in falling on the wrong side of UEFA's regulations, and only the Court of Arbitration of Sport overturning it on pretty much technicalities have got them out from underneath. I do hope that if the Premier League have made these allegations, that they're able to substantiate them, because if they're not, what was the point of all this? What a ridiculous scenario. It makes the Premier League look even more eunuch-like if they aren't able to stand up.
So it's
the
an
very
independent,
nature of their own
Simon,
investigation.
just to clarify, it's an independent commission.
Well, that's what they're saying. Is the outcome of the situation. Full stop.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, it is alleged that City had overstated sponsorship income that effectively doubled former Roberto Mancini's wages via a secret contact with an Abu Dhabi club, and that they broke rules about approaches to young players. But Manchester City are saying now, we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. So virtually saying to the Premier League, right, we see your challenge and we take you on.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.
Financial issues. They did not get a transfer for the Portuguese player at the start of the summer window. Although attempts were made later, it was very close to deadline day and the Sky Blues refused to do business. Heading into 2023, however, Bernardo Silva remains on Barcelona's agenda. It is understood